Welcome to the first set of playoffs losers round 1 in the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This is going to be a set between Quest's team, Verocious Victini, and Ember's team, which is Rio Grande Rapidash. These two trainers, so they fought each other in Victory Road Season 1, Quest 1, fought each other in Victory Road Season 2, Ember 1. So now they're facing off for a third time versus each other in the biggest test that they've had to face yet. One of them will continue on in the bracket, while the other will be eliminated since this is loser's bracket. So this is sure to be a very intense and really exciting set. So let's jump in. It does look like Quest brought his Mega as well as Ember, Mega Aerodactyl and Mega Diancie respectively. As far as Z Pokemon go, Infernape with Z Attack is on Quest's team, and then Tornadus with Z Any as well as Crook with Z Attack is on Ember's team. So there is a possibility of a Z move from both sides. And taking a look, it does look like there's a vital Pokemon on both sides. Tapu Bulu is going to be a very strong force to be reckoned with Quest. Not only can it hit pretty much anything on Ember's team extremely hard, minus maybe Dragalge, but it also sets up grassy terrain, which is going to hamper Crocodile's ability to sweep, since it has the power of Earthquake. On Ember's team, Milotic is going to be extremely tough for Quest to break through, as nothing can break through it except Tapu Bulu. So I think this is going to be, and we did see this dynamic between them before, where it is basically Quest using Tapu Bulu, chasing Milotic away, Milotic coming in and walling the other physical attackers that Quest has, vice versa. And so I think we will see that struggle again versus that unstoppable force versus the immovable wall. And let's see who emerges victorious. I think this is going to be a very exciting set. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. In terms of leads, I'm thinking maybe Merodactyl. Mega Aerodactyl for Quest. For Ember, maybe Tornadus Therian. Those are my guesses. Alright, we do have Majin Buu, the Tornadus Therian, coming out to face Bomber the Empoleon. That's right, Empoleon does make a good lead with its access to Stealth Rock. Trouser Snake, the Milotic, is going to switch in, though. And Stealth Rock indeed does go up on Ember's side. We already have rocks up on the field. So Kuryu, the Tapu Bulu, comes in to meet Milotic, and again, we have already those two Titans facing each other, the offensive and the defensive Titans. Scald is going to hit, but it does not burn. That grassy terrain's also up, which allows Kuryu to restore a little HP in 2 turns. Its HP will be pretty much nearly restored. Death Gripper comes in with that quad resist to grass. Will Kuryu go for the Horn Leech or Woodhammer? Looks like Woodhammer, even with the quad resist to grass, it's going to do 45% to Death Gripper, a whopping amount, but Death Gripper does stand pretty threatening, especially now with those leftovers in grassy terrain. It recovers a little bit more. So Kuryu is going to switch out into Rex, the Aerodactyl, who's probably going to take a Sludge Wave. Actually, Death Gripper goes for the substitute, which gives it nice little leverage over Aerodactyl. It does have nice coverage moves such as Thunderbolt and Surf, so it can hit Aerodactyl really hard. Meanwhile, Aerodactyl is going to have to break that substitute first. So Aerodactyl does Mega Evolve, staying in and going for the Earthquake. The Earthquake's going to break the substitute, and Death Gripper stays in. It's going to go for a Draco Meteor, dealing massive damage to Rex, taking it down to 33%. Death Gripper now does have that loss in special attack, though, but the grassy terrain is going to boost it up to 54%, combined with that Black Sludge. Milotic comes in to take a hit from Rex. And it looks like that hit is going to be Earthquake, not doing much damage, only 14% due to that grassy terrain weakening it. Looks like Milotic has leftovers, so it is going to restore basically most of its HP once it comes in, from when it came in. And Bomber comes in to face Trouser Snake. And the Ice Beam is going to hit, only doing about 3% to Bomber. I think Ember was probably looking for that predict into Tapu Bulu. And Scald is going to hit Bomber. Will it burn? Still no burn from Scald. Bomber goes for the Flash Cannon. Good choice, because you don't want to Scald a Milotic and activate Marvel Skill, especially when it's holding leftovers. Not a good idea, so Bomber definitely not going for the Scald there. And Milotic goes for the Scald again. Still no burn coming out of that Scald. Bomber's going to go for the Flash Cannon again, maybe hoping for some special defense drops or threatening any switch in, because nothing really wants to switch into a Flash Cannon from this Empoleon. Of course, Milotic does have access to recover, so all these Flash Cannons won't really matter if Milotic's brought down a little bit. So Stealth Rock is used. Again, Scald does not burn. It looks like Ember's Scald luck isn't really kicking in. Both of these bulky water types are at almost near full HP. The Scald hits, this time burning Bomber, and Bomber is going to retaliate with another Flash Cannon. I think Quest is really hoping for that special defense drop. Maybe something else would be able to come in and threaten Milotic once its special defense is dropped. One thing to note is that Milotic might have Haze, which could undo that special defense drop. And another Scald is going to bring Bomber down to 73%. Its leftovers recovery is now negated. Bomber is staying in pretty comfortably, not wanting to leave just yet. Will we see an Ice Beam predict come from Ember to see if... Oh, and Zydog comes in, the Zygarde 10%. And Milotic does go for the Ice Beam. It takes down Zygarde. And that was quite the read. Zygarde goes down, and the score is now 5-6. Zygarde didn't really want to get burned either. That's the thing. Milotic has really good power in this matchup because it could use Ice Beam to threaten things, but it could also threaten with Burn. Tapu Bulu's not going to want to be burnt. It'll severely hamper its usefulness. So Milotic switches out into Majin Buu, the Tornadus Therian. Tornadus has to watch out for a Wood Hammer, though. Even resisted, it might take it out. And that's exactly what happens. Woodhammer does take down Majin Buu, and the score is now 5-5. Again, we see Kuryu being a big threat to Emberhoof's team. Death Gripper, the Dragalge, comes back out, and we've seen this Dragalge can recover pretty nicely. It goes for the Protect, actually, to scout if Quest is going to stay in or switch out. The Woodhammer probably would have done enough to take it down since it did 45 last time, but now with the Black Sludge and the Grassy Terrain, it is at 53%, so it can live a Woodhammer. So we'll likely see a switch in because Kuryu is not going to want to die. Rex comes out to face Death Gripper and takes a Sludge Wave. That's going to bring Rex down to 10%. So Rex is barely hanging on. It can threaten Death Gripper with Stone Edge or Earthquake. Earthquake, of course, is going to be weakened by the Grassy Terrain. Death Gripper also... I was going to say it can protect to recover a little bit more, but it looks like Trouser Snake, the Milotic, comes in instead. And Earthquake, not going to do a lot to Milotic. Again, weakened by that Grassy Terrain, which still has one more turn up. And Milotic comfortably recovering with leftovers. Yeah, Earthquake still not doing a lot of damage, and I'm assuming Rex is going to go down to a Scald or an Ice Beam. It looks like Ice Beam takes down Rex, and the score is now 4-5. Will we see Kuryu come out again to chase away Milotic? So now the Grassy Terrain is gone, but Kuryu comes in and sets up that Grassy Terrain once again. This battle mostly being done within the confines of a Grassy Terrain, I think. Breloom comes out, Breloom Larson. Will it be able to take a Woodhammer? It's Stone Edge, actually, that hits, and it's not very effective. So it does 46%. One more won't be enough to take down Breloom unless it's a critical hit. Breloom has some leverage here. It is boosted by the Grassy Terrain with its Grass-type moves. Sigilyph, Carly comes out. And Breloom's going to go for the Mach Punch, so that doesn't do much damage. And it does look like Breloom has a Life Orb as well. Energy Ball brings Breloom Larson down to 7%. And it looks like Breloom's going to go for the Spore that causes Carly to fall asleep. Breloom now has the ability to go for some grassy terrain boosted grass moves or switch out. Carly's still asleep, and Breloom is going to respond with the Bullet Seed boosted by grassy terrain and stab. It is going to do quite a bit of damage, bringing Carly down to 9%. Breloom's at 9%, so it can't use another attack without dying due to Life Orb Recoil. Decides to go for the Mach Punch to pick off Carly and die in the process. Score is now 3-4. It is still anyone's game, especially with Tapu Bulu being alive, a very valuable Pokemon for Quest. The grassy terrain is now gone, but Tapu Bulu comes in, setting it up once again. And in comes Death Grip with a Dragalge. I'm guessing we'll see a switch into Empoleon. No, actually Death Gripper goes for the Protect, scouting out what move Kuryu is going to use. And it looks like it's a Stone Edge to try and catch Death Gripper without the Wood Hammer. Death Gripper now recovering some HP with that Black Sludge and the grassy terrain. Kuryu is at a comfortable 76% still. Stone Edge is going to be enough to take down Death Gripper, and this looks like it could be a dangerous situation for Quest. I'm assuming that Tapu Bulu is choiced at the moment, so Crocodile and Diancie won't have to take a grass type attack if it is choiced, and can fire off a strong predictive move. Looks like Empoleon comes in. Diancie is going to stay in, Mega Evolve, and attack with Psychic. I think he was predicting that Infernape switch in. So the Psychic not going to do much to Empoleon. Diancie can use Earth Power, but we did see Empoleon use Flash Cannon earlier, so it would be a risky stay. It looks like Diancie actually goes for the Diamond Storm instead. And Flash Cannon is going to do enough to take down Diancie in one shot. Score is now 3-2 as Quest has gained the momentum. Crocodile is still there, but it will have trouble sweeping if it's a Moxie Choice Scarf variant because the grassy terrain is very troublesome to its ability to use Earthquake. Liability, the Crocodile does come in. Earthquake will do massive damage to Bomber. I'm not sure if it'll take it down. It does take it down despite the grassy terrain powering it down. And now Liability is going to gain that Moxie boost, but Tapu Bulu is still alive. And the grassy terrain's gone. If Tapu Bulu comes in, yet again, we'll see the grassy terrain go up. It looks like Tapu Bulu keeps coming in right after the grassy terrain ends, keeping the grassy terrain on the field. Quest having control of that grassy terrain the whole time. Earthquake is going to hit Kuryu. Not going to do a lot, even with that attack boost. And I think Kuryu, is able to take down Liability with the Wood Hammer. And now Liability goes down. Milotic, if it's faster than Kuryu, can clinch this with an Ice Beam, but if it's not, Kuryu will use Wood Hammer, and I think that'll be the game. Trouser Snake, the Milotic, does come out, and Kuryu is going to go for that Wood Hammer, taking down Milotic, and that is the match. It's a 2-0 score for Quest and the Verocious Victini over Ember and Rio Grande Rapidash. What a match. Very close one. Kuryu almost going down to Recoil. And yeah, it looks like Quest and Ember talking about how Bulu was the biggest problem for Ember's team. I definitely think we'll see it in the second match too. Milotic, a pretty big problem for Quest team too. It is really, this battle really is defined by those two Pokemon. I feel like they are the glue that holds the team together. Really impressive battle. I'm excited to see the next one. So we're going to jump into that next one. Stay tuned for that. Until then, this is Noel from Sun and Friendly.